Welcome everybody to the CTC virtual info session this evening. I'm Bruce Fassbinder in the CTC marketing department. Joining me is Barbara Merlo, also in the marketing department, Professor Matt Lyles in our math department. We've got Pearl Creviston in our financial aid office, Jeff Pyatt in admissions and recruiting, and also Lee Greenthaner's here joining us, and she's streaming live to Facebook and she'll be checking the posts there. So thank you all very much. The purpose of this info session is to share with you the many things CTC has to offer as far as programs of study, academic services, student services, and other services we hope will convince you to make that smart choice and begin your higher education and your career pursuits here with CTC. We'll also talk about how to apply CTC, registering for classes, financial aid and scholarship opportunities. So even if you're not sure what you want to do career-wise, job-wise, or otherwise, hopefully our purpose is to start you thinking in that direction and show you that CTC is an affordable, great place to start. So this is an interactive session. So if you have questions, feel free to type them in our chat and also post them on Facebook, and where Lee will let us know that they're there, and we'll be sure to answer and address your questions. And first off, let's get the session rolling with a brief video tour of CTC. And I'm going to ask Barbara Merlo to share her screen and the video. Thank you. And welcome, Evelyn. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, that video was just a kind of a real quick and brief summary of everything that we have to offer. And as you can tell, we offer a lot, everything from student housing in our dorms. We feed you here with our dining facilities. Our library has a great library of online resources to help you with those term papers and other projects. We offer career services. So we post resumes and take resumes to help you find jobs and do mock interviews and help you with those resume writing and interview tips and those kind of things. So there's a little bit of everything for you here at CTC. But the main thing is we got to figure out what you want to do. So we have our programs of study, and they're broken down in different career paths. And some are designed to get you directly quicker into the workforce, and some are designed to get you through the associate's degree and onto that bachelor's degree. And I think, Barbara, if you don't mind sharing some of your thoughts on that, and we'll show the Explore Programs video.
Oh, sorry. So I'm going to say just one brief thing. All you have to remember is that, like Bruce said, you can do one of two things when you come to CTC. You can focus on getting a job as quickly as possible and have one of our career certificates or degrees allow you to do that, or you can transfer to a university, which means you do 2 years here and then you transfer to a university, possibly our partner at A&M Central Texas. And we've got Professor Lyles, and he's going to give you a little more detail from the faculty end of it, but I am going to show this video so that it just kind of gives you a good overview of what we're talking about when we talk about degree plans.
All right, thank you, Barbara. So, regardless if you know exactly what you want to do, where you want to go, or you have no idea what you want to be when you grow up, like a lot of us are still trying to figure that out, take a look at these Explore programs, and Matt Lyles will explain some of them, and it might just kind of spark you in that direction, or kind of plant that little seed that will help you get started in that direction, or whichever direction you think might be of interest. So, Matt, I'm going to shut up and let the floor to you. You're on mute right now.
Do I need to share my screen to put up that pathways page? Or is that something that
I
Barb
think
can
I
do?
can do that for you if you give me half a second here. So,
You got it?
yeah, hang on a second. Let me click share, and we're there. All I'm seeing is white right now, so I don't know what's. There we go.
You're in Mura.
I shouldn't be.
It says Mura across the top.
Okay, well, my apologies. Hang on. Let me
Okay.
let me get out of that. Stop sharing.
Matt,
you can fill the silence if you want.
Okay. So we have 6 different pathways at CTC. You may not know exactly like both Bruce and the video and whomever else has said, Barb has said that you may not know exactly what you want to do, what you want to study, which path you want to go. But if you have like a general, hey, these types of things interest me, then you can go through those and say, all right, I'll start down this path a little bit, because a lot of them in the same pathway share a lot of the same starting out courses, core courses, if you will. So you're like, okay, I'm looking at these arts and humanities. I like drama, communications, and media. That might be for me. Hey, Bruce, can you click on communication and media technology for me right there? And if you're not sure, each one of these pathways has a little video. You just click on the image there. So if you slide down a little bit, you can say, what kind of careers could you use with this? And they have a handful of examples here. If you slide down further, it'll say degrees and certificates. So for this, We have a communication and media technology. If you look to the right of it, it says AA. That means Associate of Arts. And if you click on that, then you can get there you go. Then you get the degree plan, and that's the courses you would take if you were going to try to get an Associate of Arts in communication and media technology. And they have the order is not set in stone there, but you can get those going and get headed right down the path. If you say, I'm not sure that's for me, if you try a different major in the same area, you'll notice that a lot of those have a lot of same classes. We had Composition 101, we had US History. And so you're thinking, well, I need to go ahead and get those knocked off, and I'm going to be able to use those no matter which one of these paths I take within the field. Can you go back one more for me? So now you're like, well, maybe arts and humanities isn't my interest. If you look in the business and business technology, we have a ton of different things there, including some things that you may not even think of lumping in there, like culinary arts and hospitality. We have cybersecurity, we have logistics, supply chain, and some of these, let me see if I can't figure out where there's going to be some stackable stuff here. Let's try the information technology there real quick. Slide down here. We have a handful of different things here. So information technology there, it says AAS, that's an Associates in Applied Science. And then we have some other things, Computer Help Desk Specialist, Computer Systems Technician, Web Technologies. You can get some certificates. Some people work while they're going to school, and you can add certificates to your resume and kind of build it up as you go, where you can start having, like, okay, I'm qualified in web technologies and I can start working in that field and then keep working on my degree. And then as you work your way up, okay, I finished my information technology degree. Maybe I want to stop there and just work in the industry, or maybe I want to transfer out to a 4-year school, whether that's A&M Central Texas down the road from us, or that's some other 4-year school out beyond. But you have these options here either way. And you can always call the department with any questions you have. We have an email as well that'll be listed within if you click on the actual departments here. Can we go back one more screen here? All right, so there's 6 different pathways, and we've looked at 2 kind of so far. If we keep going, construction, manufacturing, and transportation is we have automotive, we have aviation program where you finish the program with a commercial pilot's license. You're immediately employable out in industry flying for a living. We have truck driving, we have all kinds of things there. So if any of those things interest you, a lot of those courses are self-paced where you can knock them out as quickly as you want and start right in on the next one the moment you finish it. You can knock out your certification tests and then be employable in the field as quick as you're able to do so. We keep sliding there for me. In the healthcare section there, we have all sorts of different things here. EMT, paramedic. We have histology, massage therapy as an actual degree program. We have nursing, which is a very competitive thing in ours. If you go ahead and click on nursing for me for just a moment, please. Our nursing program is pretty competitive at CTC. They have a deal there. Keep sliding down for me. I want you to click. Let's first look at the degrees. So they have some certificates and they have some degree plans. I think to become a registered nurse and RN, you have to get at least an associate's. But if you go ahead and click on that first one there, I wanted to show you there that you don't apply for the nursing school right out of the box. You take some core courses first and then apply there, but you need to go ahead and get started on the degree plan. That anatomy and physiology there, the microbiology, composition, you want to get started down the path. And then after you do that, then you apply for admission to that program. And so you want to get on those courses early. You want to do as well as you can so that when you apply for the actual program for nursing, you're as competitive as you can be so that you can get that spot that you wanted so you can go ahead and get your degree and do what you'd like to do. Let's go back one more time for me. And go back a screen. Just kind of touch on the other couple real quickly here. Can't remember the order off the top of my head, but public service. Okay. So We have criminal justice. We get a lot of people hired right out there in industry, right out of we have a police academy. We have child development, fire service. Y'all can read these as fast as I can. But lots of stuff going on there. This next pathway is where I come in. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We have ag science. We have lots of regular sciences. We have engineering. And with our engineering program, we partner with A&M Central Texas right down the road from us. If that's what you're interested in doing, you can also transfer out to four-year schools as well. Our courses transfer quite well. Our calculus sequence, our engineering courses, all kinds of things are accepted at all major Texas universities. And we have started recently a robotics program that we're getting off the ground. We're looking at pairing that with some local industry and getting people some hands-on experience out there to plug right on in. But those are our different pathways. I was talking about briefly our partnership with A&M Central Texas. The engineering program, you can do 2 years with us and 2 years with A&M Central Texas and get a 4-year degree in engineering locally here for significantly lower cost than you would at a regular full-on 4-year school. We also partner with them for computer science and several other things. So those are lots of different pathways to look at. So I would say look at those. Feel free to watch the videos for each one. See what is drawing your interest. And if you have questions, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you some more and see if what we're offering in a specific department is something that interests you.
All right, thank you, Matt. And again, those all these different areas, they all contain career opportunities, kind of a rough guesstimate on salaries. Also, by clicking on the associate or certificate specifically, you can see exactly what classes you need to fulfill that program and achieve that degree or certificate. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. So. All right.
I wanted to make sure that anybody that's on knows that, you know, Matt went over a few specific ones, but we have so many choices. If you have an idea of what you want to pursue, we had somebody asking about the aviation program. Please put a note in the chat and we can either address it while we're talking about academic programs, or we can answer your question in the chat. And that goes for any question, not just about academics.
Well, I'll be glad to share the aviation screen under Explore programs if you'd like.
Sure. The specific question was, how quickly can you do it? And the aviation program is pretty complicated, because if you just want to get a private pilot's license, say you want to be able to fly a small airplane, that's a fairly quick process. That rating, if I want to say it's within 1 semester, but it's part of the overall aviation science degree. If what you're looking for is to be a commercial pilot with, you know, either a cargo, freight, or a national airline company, usually you would not only do the 2-year associate degree, but you would continue to work on a bachelor's degree, mainly because you're going to need a lot of additional flight hours. And we have a relationship with some transfer schools on this. So you continue to stay with us, you become a flight instructor, you get those hours, and then you can finish a bachelor's degree. You'll have enough flight hours to take the sort of certifications, the pilot ratings that you want to pursue. And just a good story, you know, most of our pilots that do that path end up at a regional or a cargo company. And we had a student who started out that way, and he is currently at Amazon Air. So he flies the cargo for Amazon, and he just had an interview with Delta Airlines. So he may be moving over into the commercial pilot. So there's a big network with CTC aviation students, and I think there's a lot of alumni in all those airlines that will help.
Right. And I'm going to, let me stop sharing and I'll type the phone number in there. in the chat here for anyone interested in aviation. They can contact them directly.
While you're doing that, there was a question in the chat about medical billing and coding. It says how much of the emphasis is on coding versus billing. I'm thinking that coding is not necessarily what you're thinking it is. It's not like a heavy duty computer programming. They typically have a billing system set up and you code different services and things so that they can be billed correctly. So it's not like I'm going to be doing a bunch of computer programming. It's using existing programs to make the billing system work.
Here's the Explore programs on medical coding and billing, and I'll click on the degree program so you can see the courses that are involved there. 60 credit hours to achieve an Associate of Applied Science. And then I will click back to the certificate program. It's 42 credit hours. As you can see, what's involved there.
And that is not only one of our most popular programs, especially for people who are going to move, but it also has some of, I think, our favorite faculty members, Professor Lyles notwithstanding. They really work with the students. A lot of what they do can be self-paced, and they do have online classes, but they also have a lab that they can help you out with the actual topics.
And there's a
Come up with a
contact
word.
phone number for them. Anybody's interested? 526-1382.
Let me say briefly also, so depending on what your situation is as a student, part-time, full-time, you need to take classes in the evenings. We offer classes in a variety of formats. I can, in my department, we offer face-to-face several times a day. We're still offering live stream classes like we started during COVID, and we still continue those because we find that some people can't come physically to campus, but they still want that experience of interacting virtually like you are in the classroom. And also we also have the traditional online classes, and my department is not at all alone in those. So we offer classes in lots of formats to fit your schedule to help you get where you're trying to be.
Hey, I'd like to address the question that just came up. After completing 2 years at CTC, do you have to immediately transfer? Actually, you don't have to transfer at all. With some of our programs like medical coding and billing, you'll be able to go out and get a job to do that. And if you want to get additional education to maybe become a supervisor or to start your own business, you can. But a lot of our degrees, the ones that are certificates in applied science degrees, those are meant to get you a job. So there's no requirement that you continue into a 4-year university. The programs like math and science and kinesiology and things like that, those really a 2-year degree for the most part is not where you need to stop. So it really depends on your goal. You're not going to really get a 2-year engineering degree. You're going to get a 4-year engineering degree. But there are plenty of things, especially in our trades programs, like welding and HVAC and graphics and printing, that you can complete a certificate and be marketable for a job right away within a year, or sometimes even less, depending on how focused you are. So it's really a personal decision what your goal is. And if you see yourself, you say, I know what I want to do, and you come and do it, you'll be in the workforce doing it in no time at all.
But then if you do want to go back and get that 4-year degree, then you need to check with that institution that you want to transfer to, because I believe there are statutes of limitations on when our credits expire, our classes expire, that kind of thing. So I don't think that if you wait 6, 7, 8 years and then decide I want to go back and get an associate's degree, those courses will still be available for transfer. So just check with your institution if you want to work for a while and then you decide later on you want to transfer, just check with that institution to make sure that they will still accept those credits after that time lapse. So, all right. Any other comments or questions about our Explore programs right now? All right. So we talked about all the different programs and showed you a brief kind of description of those. And What do we offer as far as support of those programs, academic support? Well, we have an academic studio which provides free tutoring. We have a book lending with the academic studio as well. So if you need some help with textbook lending, if you qualify, and also give you some child care, also so you can attend classes and get those things taken care of. So we do have a brief video on our academic support. So if Barbara, if you can share the screen on that, we'd appreciate it.
You may have enrolled as an individual, but once you become a student at Central Texas College, you're not alone. We have a variety of support services and resources to support you and help you succeed. CTC's Academic Studio Student Success Center is a one-stop shop for all your student needs. Students can receive academic advising in person and online tutoring and participate in study groups. Qualified students can take advantage of textbook lending and child care assistance. As a college student, you'll spend a lot of time in the library, and ours offers a variety of services and resources to help keep you on track. Students can get help writing research papers and submit them for review free of charge. You can bring your own laptop or borrow one of ours, and if you need a quiet place to study, rooms are available on a first-come, first-served basis. If you have questions, the Ask a Librarian email service is available 24 hours a day, or if you need immediate responses to your questions, the live chat and text service can help. Bad at math? You're not alone. We offer a math lab that provides assistance with everything from college algebra to calculus. And if you need more help with math or any other subject, we offer online tutoring by appointment for up to 2 hours per day. Students with a qualifying documented disability can receive reasonable academic accommodations to include extended testing time, separate testing areas, note takers, and sign language interpreters. Please visit our webpage or visit us in person for more information. Worried about your options after you graduate? We've got you covered. Our Career Center offers career counseling, employment and recruitment services, job fairs, and more. And if you're not quite sure what career you'd like to pursue, use the Career Assessment tool to help you identify what you're good at and what careers are best suited for you. College can be overwhelming, but we are here to help. The Substance Abuse Resource Center offers individual and group counseling as well as information on how to deal with stress. Eagles may fly alone, but at CTC, we soar with you.
All right, we're not just going to leave you hanging out to dry with our programs of study. We're here to support you from day one to the very bitter end. So, or the very joyous end, I should say, graduation. So, anyway, so we've got numerous opportunities for you. There are numerous student services and academic services to help you get along. So, but the next step is, how do we apply at CTC? What do we do at CTC? How do we get started at CTC? We have an online application, and here to talk about that is our admissions and recruiter, Jeff Pyatt.
Thanks, Bruce. My name is Jeff Pyatt. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Pyatt, and I am admissions advisor recruiter for Central Texas College here in Killeen, and I assist people with the application, go out in the community and recruit people to CTC. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to walk you on how to apply for admissions. I'm going to talk just a little bit about testing, academic advising, backdoor meningitis, and then I'll let Ms. Crevice speak to you about about financial aid. So Barb, if you'll go to the main page to apply for admission, if you will go to you'll visit www.ctcd.edu, and at the top of the page you'll see a red apply now button. Okay, so you're going to need to create an account before you apply for admission. So if you'll click on that, what you're going to do is when you scroll down, you're going to put your first name, your last name, in a good working legitimate email address, and then you're going to hit that you're not a robot and hit submit. When I suggest a good working email, I don't mean anything silly like Mama Bear at Yahoo or Big Trucker at Gmail or something like that, because those those emails are going to get flagged. Okay, so generally emails with silly emails or emails with a bunch of numbers get flagged, and we have to release that. We won't receive your application uh, until your email is legitimate. So something with your first name, last name, will very likely get that. But not only when you apply for admission, have a good email, but when you start looking for a job, I suggest you have a a legitimate email as well, because if you have something silly, an employer isn't going to take that seriously, and they're not going to open it, and it's probably going to go to the spam. So after you hit the submit button, you're going to check your email, and when you click on the email, it'll say CTC admissions. You click on the email, and it'll say reset password. So when that link comes up, Barb, go to the login page in the upper right hand corner where it says login. Yeah, right there. Scroll down. So when you reset your password, your username is going to be your good email address and your password. That'll get you to log in, and then you can apply for admission there. Okay. The application for admission doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't obligate or bind you to anything. So go ahead and apply for admission, and we don't require an essay. Your application is good for a year, so it's good for a year from the time you apply. So let's say that you decide that you're going to graduate high school in May. If you go ahead and apply sometime this spring, your application is good for a year from the time you apply. Okay, so as long as you have a high school diploma or GED, we have an open admissions policy. You'll be accepted. It generally takes about 5 to 7 business days to process an application, provided we don't need additional information. And the provided we don't need additional information is based on how you answer the application, because we don't enter the application when we receive it. It's imported to us, and it goes into our system based on how you answer the application. So 5 to 7 business days, you should receive an acceptance letter saying you've been accepted, and then it'll tell you the next steps. So before Barb, go to the prospective student page, and just go down there. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Okay, go to the getting started page. I'm sorry. All right, so these are just some steps to help you when you apply for admission. I told you how to apply. Ms. Crevison's going to talk to you a little bit about financial aid, how to pay for college, and things like that. Before you can register for your classes, you will have to satisfy your testing requirements. And CTC does not require the SAT or the ACT, but you will have to take the TSIA2 unless you're exempt. And what that test does is it determines your level of college ready. Are you college ready, or do you need to take some developmental classes? So if for some reason, if you don't pass all of those, you can still come to CTC. However, you're going to have to take some developmental classes to build the skills and the knowledge where you need to be in the college level classes. Okay, so Barb has given you, I guess she clicked on the link with some guidelines and maybe some practice tests on how to study for the TSI. All right. Also, before you can register for your classes, you'll have to speak with academic advising, and academic advising will place you in the classes according to your TSI scores. You can make an appointment, an in-person appointment. You can make a virtual appointment, or maybe be advised over the telephone. And I would suggest once you apply, academic advising, their appointments, they're 2 weeks out for when they make an appointment. So once you apply, you probably want to go ahead and make your appointment to visit with academic advising, because they, like I said, they're 2 weeks out. If you decide that you're going to take face-to-face classes at CTC, and if you're age 22 years or younger than 22 years of age, we're going to need proof of bacterial meningitis vaccination. Very likely, that proof of you have probably had that vaccination. It's generally within the past 5 years. It has to be within the past 5 years you have that. If you take the face-to-face class, you need that. If you take only distance learning classes or online classes, the bacterial meningitis is not required. However, if you take a combination of either or, the bacterial meningitis vaccination, or you take a face-to-face class or online class, we still need the bacterial meningitis. And I don't know if any of you are still in high school or not. Lisa, I see that you are about 98%. If you'll send your email, I will send you some guidelines on how to apply. I'll be glad to do that. You're probably missing something that you just don't realize, and I can help you with that. I'll be glad to do that. But I'll put my email address in there as well. And then that's really it for applying for admission. If you are still in high school, if you're a senior in high school, I'm going to visit one high school next week to assist students with the application. And then next spring, starting in, I think, February through the end of the year, I'm going to be at the schools to help the students with the application for admission. And then, Bruce, I'm going to turn it back to you. And then I believe Pearl's going to talk about financial aid.
Yep. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it. If you will go ahead and put your email in the chat there for everyone, we'd appreciate that. Thank you. So again, as Mr. Pius said, filling out the online application is not a commitment to CTC, but it will help you if you decide that you eventually do want to go to CTC. Your paperwork will already be on file. You'll be a step ahead of most others who are just now applying. So go ahead, if you're contemplating higher education with CTC, go ahead and fill out the application. And again, it's not a commitment, but when you decide to take that plunge and register for classes or follow through with the application process, your paperwork will already be on file. So now the next step after applying and getting all that situated is, how are we going to pay for classes? And so with some good tips on how to do that is Pearl Creviston from our financial aid office. Hi, Pearl. You're on mute, Pearl.
Just saw that as I started talking. Hello, everyone. I just want to say welcome. Happy to have you here tonight. I hope we're able to help some of you get this process started or continue if you're already a student with CTC. So financial aid, how am I going to pay for school? You want to find out what your costs are going to be. Probably the single most important thing you can do before you start school is find out how much is it going to cost you. And then you compare that once you complete a FAFSA application to how much are you being offered. So there's so many different types of aid available. And on the CTC website, there is a scholarship page, there is a financial aid page, and all of those have a tremendous amount of information about the different types of aid available. So the FAFSA is always the first step for any student, regardless of which school you go to. You want to have a FAFSA application current. So we are currently processing in 21, 22, and 22, 23. And what I mean by that is the academic year for financial aid always starts in the fall. So the fall is the 21 currently, and it continues into 22 for spring. So that's why you always see the FAFSA applications online with both aid years attached. So students get a little confused sometimes because they're not sure which aid year. Well, I want to go to school starting in 22. Which FAFSA do I do? So again, it depends on when you're going to start. If you're starting in the fall next year, you definitely want to do the 22-23. But as I stated in the chat, if some of you are in high school right now and are going to graduate in the spring, you're not going to attend our current fall of 21 or current spring of 22, but you may want to come to school in the summer. So in that case, you still would do this current aid year of 21, 22, and then be able to use financial aid this next summer term. Then to continue, you're going to do the 22-23, which is open right now. Department of Ed opens it up 2 years, or opens it up every year in October, and the taxes you use are from 2 years prior. So that allows people to apply much, much sooner than they could in the past, because a lot of times people aren't filing their taxes until later in the year and didn't always have it ready in time to do the FAFSA. So Department of Ed changed that to allow students to come in and complete a FAFSA now much, much sooner. So always apply every single year. And what the FAFSA tries to qualify you for is what we call Pell Grant, P-E-L-L. and that is free financial aid based off the income in your household. Another type of aid from the FAFSA includes student loans. You can also qualify for what's called a Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. I noticed, I believe it was Evelyn that talked about a pilot program. So if that's the case, you're definitely going to want financial aid assistance because it is one of the more expensive programs, and just Pell Grant alone may not cover the cost. So you start now, you start early, and you decide what program is it you want, how much is it going to cost, and how am I going to pay for it? So always contact financial aid at the school and let us help you sort through what your costs could be, what your anticipated costs could cover the entire program. Are you going to work while you go to school? If not, how are you going to support yourself? So with the FAFSA application, the intent is if you qualify for a full Pell Grant and you're attending CTC, you're also a Texas resident, your Pell Grant alone would cover most of our programs. You wouldn't need to borrow student loans. You wouldn't need to look for other resources. But maybe while you're receiving that financial aid, you're not going to be working. So you'll want to look for other aid that you can receive that doesn't cost you anything. My number one mission as a director of financial aid is to talk you out of getting a student loan as hard as I can. Because if you're going to pursue a 4-year degree, you're going to have to borrow student loans just to pay for it in most cases. But at a 2-year level, you shouldn't need student loans. So you'll want to save those for future educational goals that might include a bachelor's, a master's, and beyond. So I really try to talk you out of financial aid loans at CTC, but sometimes you may be in a situation where maybe you don't qualify for Pell and you don't have enough. So some of the other aid that we are also offering right now is an ARP grant, for instance, and that is from COVID relief funding from the government. That does not require that you qualify for Pell Grant, and you can qualify for up to $2,000 right now for this current fall term and for the spring. So we have a scholarship site, like I said, on our website that will help you do that. You can also apply to be a part-time work study if you're a Pell Grant recipient and you have need in the household. You can also qualify to be a work study. And the beauty of the work study program is you are processed through our financial aid office. We determine eligibility for that, and then you can determine which department you might like to work in. So some of you may be seeking a physical fitness arena. You want to get into that sports medicine type thing. Well, we have a gym right here on campus and they hire work studies. So you would get an inside track on some of the things you might be looking into. Some of you might be interested in nursing, so you could possibly be placed in the nursing program as a work study. You get paid to work on campus. You don't have to commute. You can walk from class, go to work, go back to class. The other part of that is we will also allow you to change your schedule accordingly, your work schedule with your school schedule. So not all jobs will do that for you, but we are required to make sure that we accommodate you being a student and allow you to work in between. So we even have a work study, for instance, in financial aid. She'll take a class. She'll come over here and work for 2 hours. She'll go take her next class, and she may come back and finish out another hour here in the office. So you have a lot of information and aid available to you, but you do have to complete the FAFSA. You need to apply early for scholarships. Those are limited windows that you have to make sure you get the application in and apply as soon as you can. But for any questions for financial aid, Bruce did put our financial.aids@ctcd.edu on the chat, and that actually comes directly to me. So we will get you the information that you need and help you with any of this process. We have computers in our lobby. You can come in and complete a FAFSA in our lobby if you're uncomfortable doing so on your own. So if you have any specific questions right now, please put those in the chat and let me see if I can help you with those tonight. Otherwise, make sure you contact me via email, and I'll also include my own email address in here so that you can contact us and get the answers that you need as soon as possible. Okay? Thank you
Thank you,
very
Pearl.
much.
Thank you, Pearl. We'll look for, see if there's any questions coming to you. And I know that it sounds intimidating when we talk about financial aid and so forth, but please rest assured that Central Texas College is one of the most affordable colleges, if not the most affordable college in this area. So you will be in good hands there. So it's just one more little item for thought as you consider your higher education choices. So
Bruce, I have a
there
question.
scholarships for flight costs? That was one question.
Bruce,
Yes.
Lisa asked about, or she mentioned hybrid classes. And to me, a hybrid is face-to-face and in person. Is that
Yes,
correct?
blended. Yes,
Okay.
blended, yes. There
So,
is an online component and a face-to-face component.
okay. So Lisa, if you're in Beaumont, you're going to need to do the face-to-face classes.
Right. And then a lot of the different blended courses depend upon the instructor, what they set aside, how much time is going to be online, how much is going to, what they actually require face-to-face, whether it's just testing face-to-face or actual some lecture face-to-face, or if there's a hands-on component that needs to be completed face-to-face. So that all depends on the class and the instructor. So there's that to consider as well. So in answer to the other question about flight costs and scholarships, Pearl answered, yes, scholarships can be used to cover the flight costs and things. And Barbara said she's going to check on that as well. So we'll have an answer here, a more definitive answer. But yes, you can. Your scholarships can be applied to those costs. And I forget what the actual term is for those costs, like the flight costs and some of the other programs have other fees or associated other than just tuition and books. So, all right. All right, so while we're getting those questions answered, let's turn to kind of the fun side of things. You know, we've talked about the academics and studying, and all that is the most important thing. But at the same time, we don't want you to go insane studying and studying and studying and worrying about the grades so much. We want you to have some kind of stress relief, and we offer that through our student life and activities office. And Jennifer Parcell is here, and Jennifer, I don't know, can you share just a little bit of light on some of the things that you offer as far as clubs and some of the activities that student life provides students? And we've got a video to back that up, and I think Barbara will share that in just a minute. But Jennifer, if you can kind of share a little bit with us.
Okay, we offer our student lounge area, which is, well, we're in the process of kind of renovating it and getting it ready, and we're still trying to be COVID safe. So we haven't opened up, we're short staffed. So I would also say, please apply for work study because we are looking for those too, along with part-time workers in our department. We offer games, pool tables, little study area, computer. If you want to print out anything, we help you with that too. There are about 15 active clubs right now. And if you go to the CTC website and go to our student life page, it has clubs and organizations, and it lets you see all of the ones that are available. We are ready for y'all to come in as soon as we can open up all the way. And upstairs we have our tutoring, which we all work with them too. And we have different activities that we provide throughout the year. And that's it for right now. We're just really working on trying to get this place open again for students so they can enjoy their off time in the lounge area.
Right. And I'm sharing my screen with some of the campus clubs and organizations that we do have available, and some that are kind of on life support right now due to COVID, and we're trying to resuscitate them and get students back on campus, get them interested in these things. But these are some of the clubs that are readily available for you to join. And if you don't see a club or an interest of your own, Jennifer will help you get started with starting your own club. So that's a possibility as well.
All you need is a full-time faculty or staff sponsor and 2 members to start a club. And the club book is online and also under our website.
Right.
So, hey, this is Barb. I'm gonna not show the video because I think I want to make sure that, I think we have some non-traditional students, which is a good way of saying you're not fresh out of high school.
Yes.
So you might think, well, I'm not super interested in this club stuff because it's
Yeah.
gonna, you know, be like all these young high school kids. Well, since we're a community college, our average age is 26, which means there's lots of people older than 26 and lots of people younger than 26. And I'll tell you, regardless of your age, the thing about the clubs at CTC is you establish relationships with an advisor and with your fellow club members, but clubs are also very flexible here because we realize that the majority of our students have jobs, part-time or full-time, and kids or family that they take care of. So, you know, it's traditional to have student clubs, but we welcome people who have non-traditional schedules to join them. In fact, one of our clubs has most of their meetings. They have some meetings in person, but they can also do everything on Discord. It's a writers club. So they're really reaching out to do some things a little differently. Some of the clubs still do virtual meetings occasionally. And most of the clubs try to schedule their meetings during times when the majority of their members can attend. And if they cannot attend, they still probably are doing other activities on the weekends if that's a better time. So I really think that that's an important point to make. One of the best ways to experience college is to experience it through working with and meeting and kind of hanging out with people that are different from you. And that difference can be age, it can be, you know, married versus not married, but that's what your workforce will be like. That's what your workplace is like. And it is an invaluable experience to have build those relationships. And I tell you what, I can tell you that you can go on the CTC website and try to find something, and sometimes you won't have any luck. But if you're in a club with a couple people and you ask them the question and they've been there, they'll be able to tell you right off the top. And then they'll also give you advice on how to do it the best way. So I would encourage you to consider it.
Yeah.
Now you're on mute, Bruce.
I don't know how I did that because I just unmuted it. Anyway, I just put in the chat a link to CTC Live, which is similar sessions like these. And the very first session available will be Join a Club Day, November 21. So if you'll click on that, that'll give you information about the clubs with some of the sponsors and some of the club members on what they do, their projects, and how to join and those kind of things. Everything from Rotaract to our anime club, Otaku Anime Club, and things like that. So there's a wealth of knowledge there on that. If you'll click that link, and it's a YouTube version, so you can easily watch that at your leisure. So, all right.
And it's well, real fast. It's also really nice when you see these students and they're in clubs no matter their age. And by the time they're done, you know, a lot of us have been here for 20 plus years, but we get to see them graduate and move on, become a bigger and better person and still work, you know, through us and then anim at the same time. But we get to see our guys grow. I really like that too. We get to see them cross the stage, and we've been there the whole way. So
Yeah, and that just emphasizes the point that these connections that you make here can be lifelong, whether they're with your sponsors, with the student life folks, or your advisors, or whoever, or just your peers in the club or on campus. So we can help you develop those lifelong relationships and networking opportunities. So again, so we've covered a lot today. Are there any questions about how to apply or the programs of study or anything else that we've covered today? I know we went through things quite quickly, but if there's any questions, please type them now in the chat. Lee, do you have anything on Facebook right now? Any comments or questions?
There's nothing on Facebook.
Okay, thanks. So Matt, I'm going to ask you to kind of go around the room here real quick and kind of leave us with one last nugget of wisdom.
Don't be afraid to ask questions at any point in your college experience, whether that's to any of us, you know, whether that's to Jeff trying to get people into admissions and registered and all this, whether it's Pearl Crevston over there in financial aid, or a professor or anybody. We're all here to help you succeed. Get your email going as quickly as you can and reach out to us at any point. We would love to see you succeed and go down the path to wherever you'd like to go.
Great. Jeff, how about you? Any last nuggets of wisdom for the audience?
If you're a non-traditional student, if a program takes you 1 year or 2 years, if you don't go, or whether you do go, you're going to be the same age that length of time. So why not go? That's the way you have to think about it.
Yeah, good point. What about you, Pearl?
I just say apply every year and apply early. Get your financial aid sorted out and understood 100% clearly before you start registering for classes.
Right, and
Don't-
let me
don't
just
wait.
yeah. Let me just throw in a reminder here that if there are other financial aid questions, you can join us tomorrow morning. Pearl will be back, or Lisette will be back, her coworker, and we'll talk about financial aid tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook. So you can join us there on Facebook and get some more information about financial aid opportunities, application deadlines, or any new changes to FAFSA or anything that we need to know to update you. Pearl and Lisette will fill you in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook. So. Jennifer, any last words of wisdom from student life?
I'm ready to get this place open and going. And I also want to add to Pearl also, my daughter applied for the COVID grants, and that is the most easiest form we've ever had to fill out in our entire life. It is about 2 or 3 questions, and then you're done and you get the money. It is amazing, and it
Absolutely.
saved her. So I would tell you, please go do that. It's so simple, so simple.
Right, that is a golden opportunity there for a free semester of college
Heck yeah.
education. So take advantage of it, folks. All right, and Barbara, last but not least, I'll leave you with some. Let us have some words of wisdom from you.
I think the big thing right here is you have an opportunity to almost get paid to go to college right now due to some of the emergency aid that we have. So if you're not sure you want to do it, just think about how much easier it'll be to do it if you don't have to pay anything on your own. And do it now. Don't wait.
Yes.
Good advice and excellent words of wisdom there. Free tuition, a free semester of college. You can't beat that. So, again, my last nugget of wisdom, if you came in late or you missed any of this presentation or this session, or you have other questions that you need to kind of go back and review, we will put this available on YouTube. It'll be there tomorrow at some point tomorrow. So thank you, Lee, for doing that. So you can click on the YouTube link and review this session if there's anything that you missed, if you came in late again, or if you need to review any of the topics that we discussed tonight. So again, we thank you all so much for being a part of this, and we hope to see you as Eagles in the very near future. And if there's anything that we can do to help you with that process, please reach out. All right. All right. Thank you all so much for being here, and we will see you on the next time. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. Thank you.